Hey everybody, it's me Eddie. Welcome to week 2, and the overarching theme for this week is going to be what do I want to research, and this is EDCI 6100. Now, this video, I'm going to go through a recap of week 1, and then I'm also going to introduce week 2. So a little bit of food for thought, and this is a word cloud that was generated from our research topic discussion forum, where we're talking about your research interest. And interestingly, you can see students. Naturally, we're all educators, and what pops up here at the front of our ideas. And then you can see us. We're talking about researching, relationships, engagement, learning, and then you see other things, benefits, assessments. And so it's pretty cool. I'm gonna try and do another one towards the end with one of our last discussion forums, and then we'll see kind of maybe how our topics and our focus changed. But the words that came out the largest were the words that were the most mentioned. If you weren't able to complete the readings yet, I highly recommend you go back into them, because it's going to really clarify what action research is in the textbook. And we did chapter 1 and chapter 2, and this is one of the key charts that came out of it. And I really want you to keep this in the back of your mind as you move forward. But the first part of action research is that you identify your area of focus. The next part is going to be collecting your data. Third, analyzing and interpreting the data. And then finally, developing an action plan. And I think that especially as you graduate from this program and you put it into action, what exactly is that going to look like? And that means that you'll be the reflective practitioner that is going into your own setting. You're identifying your areas, you're collecting your data, you're analyzing it, you're developing it, and then ideally, you kind of keep these types of loops going. And as you can see, that some of the lines connect in different areas, and that means that it's just because you don't always go into a neat circle. Maybe you collect data, you analyze and interpret the data, and then you come back, you collect your data, and then you come back and identify your area of needs and focus. Now for this week, the tasks are a little bit varied, but the first is we're going to continue to have some discussions. You're going to do your research plan worksheet, and then you're going to begin the review of your related literature. And I also have a little mini survey where I'm going to ask you how many literature reviews you've done before. Now, some things that are optional are going to be, I have a virtual office hours on Thursday from 4 to 5, and this is where you'll be able to come in, stop by, and ask questions. Also at this time, I'm going to be working through, I'm going to be going and creating my own research proposal alongside you. So if you want to know how I'm going about it so that you have a little bit of clarity, you can stop by and we can make it a working hour or lunch. What would we call that? Early dinner. So yeah, just go ahead and feel free to stop by if you need anything. And as you begin to move into your research plan, I want you to consider what the big picture is. And so the big picture is that this course goes into the signature assignment. The signature assignment is a research proposal. And the research proposal is going to begin with your first step, which is your research plan. In your research plan that you'll see available on Canvas, you're going to kind of start to flesh out your idea. Now, a bulk of your work is going to be here in the literature review. The literature review is going to be where you're looking at the research to find out more about the topic that you're interested in. And then finally, we're going to go into the different research methods that you can use to plan out when you do your signature assignment. All the discussions that we're doing all feed into this. So the discussion that you did this past week on your research interest, that's going to go into here. When you're doing discussions on qualitative and quantitative data collection, that's going to be going down here. When you're doing discussions on the literature that you're finding, that's going to go in here. So everything at the end is going to tie into this gigantic research assignment. Now, something for you to consider. Let's say that you're going to research let's say guided reading with third grade students. So that's going to be what your research questions are going to be. But in your literature review, which you're going to begin soon here, maybe you don't limit it just to third grade. So maybe you're looking at guided reading with all grade levels, or maybe you're looking at what's small group instruction with all grade levels, or maybe you're looking at reading acquisition and language acquisition. So as you begin looking for your literature, you don't have to limit yourself to the population that you're going to be looking at, but your overall research plan is going to be limited to the population you're looking at. So I'm hoping that clarifies a little bit. If it doesn't, definitely feel free to reach out, and have a great week and stay safe.